Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be going over chapter 2 in the Infinite Labyrinth. Today's guide is going to be aimed towards endgame players. However, the strategy that I'm going to be explaining can be used by everyone, free to play and endgame players. It just may be a little bit harder for free to play players to pull off. I'll be going over each build, each cookie must have, each team, and each strategy behind each team. So with the first team, we're going to be running Lemon Zest, Wizard, and Dark Choco. The second team, Cherry, Plantain, and Mala. The third team, Cream Soda, Rockstar, and Durian. Lemon Zest is going to be running the full light set with his weapon. You want to aim for about 75% crit. Since today's week is being increased by 25% crit, so 75% is perfectly fine. If you can't reach that, that's all good as well. You just want to go for max attack, max defense penetration, and max crit damage. If you don't have his unique, you can swap it out for the crit damage unique. And if you don't have the light set, again, you can swap it out for the crit damage unique. You just want to build max crit damage on Lemon Zest with Rise Artifact. Wizard is going to be running Ninja's Artifact. It doesn't really matter what armor he wears. You're not going to be really doing much damage with him. You're just going to be taking advantage of the path of training. Dark Choker, he wants his artifact with the dark set and his unique. Again, if you don't have either of these, you can just run crit damage epic equipment and the crit damage epic weapon. Cherry is going to be running Lemon Zest's artifact with the full fire set and unique. Plantain is going to be running Ninja's artifact with the full wind set and crit damage. Mala is going to be running Plantain's artifact for the elemental damage increase that she applies on enemies with the swan set and crit damage and crit percent. Cream Soda is going to be running Chili's artifact with the full water set. You want to be running Chili's artifact, as in the majority of these first two stages, we're just going to be one-shotting the enemies, so the Fruits of Labor effect won't take place, unlike Chili's artifact here. Rockstar, he's going to be running max amp buff with his artifact, and Durian is going to be running full attack with no crit percent and no crit damage. You do not want to be building crit damage, it's pretty useless on Durian. You just want to be building max attack with his artifact. So let's get started with the first chapter. This first chapter is quite simple with the strategy we'll be using. To begin, we're going to be casting Wizard's ult in the circle area of everyone that spawns in here, so about right there. The enemies will first spawn in a triangle formation with the two enemies spawning up here. We're going to be swapping to DC to cast his special ability to kill the enemies down here. We're then going to be using DC's ult up here to kill all the enemies that come from the bottom and finish off these top two that spawn up here. If everyone dies, we're going to be swapping to Lemon Zest and casting his ult in the middle to kill everyone that spawns in, and then using basic attacks to finish it off. It will look a little bit something like this, and I do have to mention I'm not a PC player, I do play on mobile, so this may be a little bit slower than what you can expect. However, you want to aim for about 10 seconds in this. 11 seconds is perfectly fine, but 10 seconds is reasonable. We'll be casting Wizard's skill, waiting for the enemies to spawn. Usually you want to kill these, all of them over here for the quickest kill. If you get all three with a single skill, that's perfectly fine. And once all the enemies come around the middle guy, we're just going to be casting Lemon Zest's ult and one-shotting them and then finishing them off with the skill. It's a pretty quick round. Again, 10 seconds is what you want to aim for. This second stage, you want to be using Mala's ult immediately to get it up again in the future. Then you'll be swapping back to Chili to cast her basic attack. Make sure you charge it so she gets the attack percent increase from the artifact. Swapping to her ult, then her skill immediately. Then we're going to be going to Plantain. After the enemies here die, we're going to be dashing in a diagonal motion from over here. And then we're going to go to our bottom right to cast the skill from Plantain up in this top direction to kill everyone here. We're going to be casting the ult on the middle guy that spawns to try hopefully hook everyone in. If you can't hook everyone in, that's perfectly fine. We're going to be swapping back to Cherry to cast her skill again to hopefully kill everyone. It'll look a little bit something like this. We cast Mala's ult, activate the round, charge up, ult from Cherry, wait for everyone to spawn. We use her ability to kill everyone instantly. Then we're going to dash to the bottom right, wait for everyone to spawn, swap to Plantain, kill everyone instantly. Then we're going to go dash to the middle, pull everyone back in. You want to aim for this top guy as well. Then you can just swap back to Cherry and she will one-shot everything. This third stage here is probably the hardest out of all three to optimize the most. To begin, we're going to be starting with Rockstar. You want to aim for the blue, the dark blue buff, or the red one. That's the attack. Oh, sorry, this is the buff amp, and that other one is the attack. Either of those are perfectly fine. We're going to begin by casting his ult, and then we're going to be going activating the pillar, swapping to Soda, and using her special attacks on the enemies that spawn at the top over here and the bottom over here to insta-kill them. The big enemy in the middle will spawn. We're going to be using Durian's ult to one-shot him. Then, hopefully, if your Durian is strong enough, it should be able to insta-kill them. If it doesn't, you can just swap it back to Soda to finish him off, or you can use the abilities for Durian to finish him off. Then we're going to be swapping to Soda if you haven't already, using her ult on the big guy that spawns at the top over here, and then cleaning up the rest of the people with the basic attacks. So we're going to be starting off with Rockstar, casting stage, using her skills to finish everyone off. And again, you want to be a bit quicker here because the ball is going to start rolling away, so you really want to be really fast. We're going to be swapping to Durian, then casting his ult immediately. And if I wasn't slow, I wouldn't have missed the ball over here, and he would be dead. This top guy will then start to roll down. We'd swap back to Soda, and then cast her ult to finish everyone off instantly. So we're going to be finishing this guy off with Durian's abilities, swapping to Soda, and then just one-shotting them. These bats do tend to walk close to you, so you can get away with using your ult and killing them all in one ult. However, sometimes you might miss a little bit, and it's completely okay too. You just finish them up with the basic attacks. If your Soda isn't 5-star, she won't have that wave there, but just expect her to if she doesn't get that wave off, you just want to finish her off with more basic attacks or more special attacks if you have the ability up. That's about how you want to do this chapter. You want to aim for about 33 seconds, 35 seconds in total, or 2,700 points is perfectly fine. 2,800 points is probably on the top end, and only really doable if you can just one-shot everything. But that's the stage for this first chapter. This second chapter, we're going to be running the same team. Nothing changing over here. However, we can run Mala Source with the Pirate defense down on this stage, but because my cookies are more built, I'm able to get away with using just the Feather set, and I don't need to worry about using the Pirate set. The Pirate set's also a good fit on Wizard if you want to run that as well. Wizard works really well with the Pirate set, but it's either these two that are going to be running the Pirate set the entire time. This second chapter is a lot harder than the first one to fully optimize. We're going to be starting off with Wizard once again, casting his ult around in the middle. Perfectly fine, doesn't really have to be too precise, and then just using his skill at the top over here to kill the enemies. We're going to be swapping to Dark Choco to dash up to the top and holding a charge attack. If your Dark Choco isn't 2 stars, you won't have this full bar, so you can skip that step. But if your Dark Choco is 2 stars or above, we're going to just be holding a charge attack to get his artifact to proc, and then using his skill on the enemies that spawn over here. We're then going to be walking over to this area over here, waiting for the bats to come in and waiting for the enemies down here to come in. We're going to be casting his ult around here to insta-kill everyone. We're then going to be swapping back to Lemon Zest, casting her ult around here. Firstly, we need to run from the top over here down to the bottom and bring everyone over. You want to try to bring as many people as possible. Then you're going to be casting her ult on the 2 big guys that spawn about here, preferably aiming for the middle so you can get a wider area of effect. And then just finishing off with her skill and basic attacks. Look a little bit something like this. Casting Wizard's ult. Swapping to Dark Choco, getting the charge up attack, killing all the enemies over here. Usually this guy should die instantly as these enemies spawn in. We're going to be coming over to this right side, holding an ult about here so we can clip all the enemies. If you're quick enough, you should be able to kill these two. Like I was just trying to explain how you're supposed to hold the ult. These two run away, but these guys will not run away if you're quick enough. So we'll just finish these guys off. You're aiming to kill both of them with the same ult, by the way. If you miss one of them, it's perfectly fine. You should be able to clean it up with Lemon Zest. If you can't, that's just another enemy that you have to finish with the basic attacks. We're going to go over to the bottom left again and just wait for all the enemies to come in. Swapping to Lemon Zest, casting her ult. That was a pretty poor ult on my end, but you just want to aim for as many people as possible, and then we're just going to be doing a quick cleanup. This stage 2 is pretty simple, probably the easiest out of the 3 for this chapter. We're just going to begin by casting Marla's ult like normal, swapping to Cherry to cast her charge up attack and then her ult. Then we're going to be swapping to Plantain to finish off the enemies in the middle, using his ult to hook everyone in, and then swapping back to Marla to finish them off. Look a little bit something like this. So we're just waiting for all the enemies to spawn onto the side. Casting Cherry's special attack to kill the enemies really quickly. You want to dodge the stun that these 2 enemies spawn. Dodging the stun will, getting hit by the stun will lose about 2 seconds of time. It's not very good if you do get hit by it. Then we're going to be dashing over to the left side and using Plantain's ult to hopefully hook in all the enemies that come from here into the middle. So we're going to be dashing over here. See the 2 enemies walking over here. Swap back to Plantain. And usually this guy wouldn't be dead already, so you do have to miss the square again for the stun, or else you lose a lot of time. Casting Plantain skill. Sometimes you don't want to cast Plantain skill if all the enemies die. It does save a bit of time using it here. We'll swap back to Cherry. And then we're going to be using the charge ups and just finishing the rest of the people off. If you're a little bit quicker, like I said, you can use Plantain's skill on the 3rd stage to insta-kill the enemies that spawn on this side, and they won't be high enough health for Cherry's special to not do enough damage, because I was just a little bit slow. I did miss a bit of time here, just trying to clear everyone up. This stage here is probably the hardest out of optimize out of every single stage in the entire chapter 2. It is, like I said, very difficult. You want to first begin by charging Rockstar's basic attacks to get the full bar. We're then going to be starting the wave and waiting for the 4 enemies that spawn on the sides over here to run up to us. We're going to be casting his ult, hopefully doing enough damage to kill them. If your Rockstar doesn't kill them, we can swap to Soda to use her basic attacks to finish them off. We're then going to be going up to the top guy over here and using the skills to cast a wave on the guy on the right side or the left side. It's completely up to preference. Just whichever side you don't cast the wave towards, you just have to kill with the basic attacks. Then we're going to be running down to kill the guys on the left or the right. Again, doesn't really matter what side you pick. We're going to be then running into the middle, casting Durian to kill all the enemies on this side. You want to aim for Durian around the right side, so it hits the sniper that spawns again down at the bottom. But in the middle is perfectly fine. And then we're just going to be cleaning up with Soda. Waiting for the enemies to spawn. Then casting his ult. And then casting his ability. Mine doesn't really do that much damage, but maybe yours is a little bit stronger and they can finish him off. But then we're going to be swapping to Soda, using her special attack to finish everyone off. Again, we're going to cast the wave on the guy, either on the left or the right side. Doesn't really matter too much. Making sure that we kill the other guy. If you don't kill him, you may want to reset the run. It is a lot of time loss if you don't kill him. You can use your ult here. We don't really need it for anything else. And by using the ult there is perfectly fine. We're going to be just killing this guy over here. Making sure we want to break the boxes with her ult, with the wave, sorry. If you don't break the boxes, it does lose a little bit of time running around, and you want to break these ones as well for the most optimal time. Again, we're going to be running down to the bottom here, using Durian, casting his ult. Again, aiming for the guy that spawns over here, just so we can save a little bit of time from using Soda. Using the rest of the basic attacks to finish these guys off. I did miss these 2 here, but you do want to hit those guys. Then using the skills to just clean everyone up. Like I said, this is the hardest one to probably optimize the most. There are definitely going to be better strats than that, but to my knowledge and what I found with my mates, that's the best strat that I can figure out for that. You want to aim for about 3.1 mil on this. 3.2 is optimal. 3.1 is what you want to aim for. And now for the 3rd chapter, there's going to be a little bit of change with the teams. You can swap out Durian for Gumball. And you can swap out Marla for Chili Pepper. However, I find Marla to be just a tiny bit quicker than Chili Pepper. But I know Chili Pepper is used and they get about 23 seconds to kill that stage. With Marla, I can aim for about 20 seconds. First team staying the same, or all the kits are staying the same. The only difference is Gumball's going to be running the full Pirate set and the Alchemist set, Alchemist artifact. So this first stage is probably the hardest to optimize the most if you don't have a good DC or a Lemon Zest. To begin, we're going to be casting Wizard's Ultimate at the top right or top left. Doesn't really matter since it's both symmetrical. I like to go for top right personally, but it's just whatever you want to preference. We're casting his ult, his skill around the top here, so the enemies that spawn down here can run up through it and take a little bit of light damage. We're going to be swapping to Lemon Zest to ult the top guy over here. This is why you want to build a really strong Lemon Zest, so she one-shots everything. If he doesn't one-shot everything, you can just use her basic attacks and skill to clean it up. We're going to be dashing over to the left or right, it doesn't really matter. Casting DC's charge up attack to get his artifact to proc, then using his skill to crit all the enemies that come barging around here. We're going to be dashing to the bottom left over here, casting his ult in between the bow and arrow guy that runs this way and the healer that spawns over here and runs this way. Look a little bit something like this. Just casting Wizard's ult. I was a little bit out of place there, but it's, again, doesn't really matter too much. This way, we're going to be charging up Lemon Zest's attack. You don't need to do this, I just like to do it for a little bit more damage. Casting his ult, his skill, and then just finishing him off with the basic attacks. Coming over here, swapping to Coco, killing everyone in one special ability. Dashing over here, using his ult, and like I said, with this guy running over here, you're able to get all of them in a single group and just one-shot them all. So this second chapter is pretty hard to optimize, but to begin, we're going to be casting Cherry's charge up attack to get her artifact to proc, casting her ult on the enemies that spawn on the side, and then using her special skill to damage the enemies down. We're going to be swapping to Marla, casting her ult. Hopefully, if all the enemies die, you can just quickly swap to. You can use her special skill to lower the defense of everyone. Then using Plantain special to kill everyone instantly. Going back to Cherry to finish them all off with another charge attack. Then we're going to be swapping back to Plantain to use his ult, hook everyone in. If you don't hook everyone in, you do lose a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Then we're going to be swapping back to Cherry and then just finishing everyone off with that. A little bit something like this. We just start a thing, ask her a skill. With that rocket like that. We're going to go to Marla. Like that. Usually if your Marla is a little bit stronger than mine, she should just one-shot everything. Then once the defense down applies, we're going to be just dashing away using Plantain. Swapping back to Cherry, using her skills. That should kill everyone instantly. Then we go to Plantain and use his ult. See how everyone gets hooked in. That's exactly what you want. Then we're going to be swapping back to Cherry and then just finish everyone off. That chapter is a little bit hard if you don't have Cherry and Marla built properly, as well as Plantain, but it shouldn't be too bad to follow if you do it like that. This third stage here is decently hard if you don't have a good Soda built or a Rockstar built. To begin, we just want to cast Rockstar's ult in the middle. Then we're going to be dashing to the bottom right with Soda, using her ult on the two enemies that spawn over here, hopefully killing them instantly. Coming over to the enemy over here, using the wave on the enemy to the big enemy up here. And if you don't hit this big guy with the wave, you do want to reset the run since the damage is quite a lot from the wave. And once we kill the bottom guy, we're just going to go up and finish the top guy off as quick as can. If he teleports away before you can finish him off, you just want to damage the top guy that spawns over here. Once he teleports away, then we're going to go find wherever the other guy teleported to, kill him. Then we're going to go back to Gumball. We're going to use Gumball on the big guy that spawned, use his ultimate, use his special. Then we're going to swap back to Soda, use her special abilities, and just finish everyone off as quickly as possible. You ideally want to still have Rockstar up as well, but if you don't, that's perfectly fine. You're not really expected to have it up. We can start. Kill everyone here. Usually this guy would die, I just didn't crit there, or there as well. I'm just going to finish up the run. And now that this guy is dead, which is going to be swapping back to Gumball, casting his ult, and then casting his special to get the defense down to proc. Initially going to Gumball, casting his ult, special, and then just DPS as much as possible. Go back to Rockstar, cast his ult, Soda, cast her ult, and that should kill everyone pretty quickly. If they don't spawn like that together, you might just have to run around and finish everyone off. And again, if you have a faster Soda or a stronger Soda, you should easily be able to get a faster kill than me. Yeah, so that will be the complete guide for the Chapter 2, Infinite Labyrinth. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe. If you do want a full free-to-play guide, I could make that if you guys suggest that in the comments. Or if you want any other advice or anything else, maybe say this week's raid and the strategies behind it, I can make a video on that. Other than that, good luck with the Chapter 2 Infinite Labyrinth, and see you guys in the next video.